The relentless pursuit of others' approval is a trap that tangles countless individuals, robbing them of their authenticity and peace of mind. This video is about the liberating Stoic principle that other people's opinions are fundamentally meaningless. True masters of life have internalized this concept, achieving a solid confidence that withstands both criticism and praise. Rooted in ancient wisdom, yet profoundly relevant to our modern world, this Stoic approach offers a path to genuine self-assurance and inner tranquility. As we go into these principles, you'll discover how to shed the weight of others' judgments and embrace a life guided by your own values and convictions. This isn't about developing a thick skin or achieving perfection. It's about fundamentally shifting your perspective on what truly matters. It requires only to understand the following Stoic reasons why people's opinions don't really matter. Opinions are not facts. Most people go through life treating every opinion they hear as if it's an indisputable fact. This is a recipe for misery. Stoic wisdom teaches us to recognize opinions for what they truly are: subjective interpretations filtered through another person's limited perspective, biases, and emotional state. When someone criticizes you, they're not stating an objective truth. They're expressing a fleeting thought based on incomplete information and their own flawed judgment. Think about it. How many times have you changed your opinion about something or someone? Opinions are as changeable as the weather. Treating them as gospel truth is like building your house on quicksand. A truly wise person understands that opinions are just mental noise. They have no more substance or permanence than a passing cloud. Remember, even experts can be wrong. History is littered with expert opinions that turned out to be laughably incorrect. If you wouldn't bet your life savings on the weather forecast being 100% accurate, why would you stake your happiness and self-worth on the shifting sands of other people's opinions? By firmly grasping this truth, that opinions are not facts, you free yourself from the tyranny of other people's judgments. Their words lose their power to control your emotions or dictate your choices. You can listen, consider what might be useful, and then simply let the rest float away, like the inconsequential mental chatter it really is. You can't control what others think. One of the foundational principles of Stoicism is understanding what's within our control and what isn't. Here's a hard truth. You have absolutely zero control over what other people think about you. None. Zilch. Nada. You could bend over backwards trying to please everyone, and there would still be people who dislike you or misunderstand your intentions. Realize how much energy you waste trying to manage other people's perceptions. It's an impossible task, like trying to herd cats or nail jelly to a wall. Every minute you spend worrying about someone else's opinion is a minute stolen from actually living your life and pursuing your goals. The Stoics understood that true freedom comes from focusing solely on what you can control, your own thoughts, actions, and responses. Obsessing over others' opinions is a form of voluntary slavery. You're handing over the keys to your emotional well-being to every random person you encounter. Instead, channel that energy into becoming the best version of yourself. Live according to your own values and standards. When you're secure in who you are and what you stand for, other people's opinions become irrelevant background noise. You'll find a deep sense of peace in knowing that your worth isn't determined by a popularity contest or the fickle judgments of others. Most people's opinions are worthless. This might sound harsh, but it's a reality you need to accept. The vast majority of opinions out there are completely and utterly worthless. They're based on incomplete information, knee-jerk emotional reactions, or parroted from someone else without any real thought. Most people form opinions in seconds, based on superficial impressions or their own prejudices. Think about how quickly you sometimes form opinions about others. Now imagine everyone doing that to you all the time. It's madness to give any weight to such shallow judgments. Even when people think they know you, they're usually operating on an outdated or incomplete version of who you are. The Stoics knew that true wisdom is rare. They understood that the opinions of the masses are often no better than the grunts and squeals of animals, pure instinctive reaction without reason or depth. This isn't elitism. It's a realistic assessment of human nature and the quality of most off-the-cuff opinions. So the next time someone's opinion threatens to ruin your day, Ask yourself, is this person a paragon of wisdom whose judgment I would trust with my life? Have they put serious thought and consideration into this opinion? Do they have all the relevant facts? In most cases, the answer will be a resounding no. Once you realize this, it becomes much easier to let those worthless opinions roll off you like water off a duck's back. Your own opinion is the only one that truly matters. In a world drowning in noise and conflicting viewpoints, there's only one opinion that should genuinely matter to you: your own. This isn't about ego or arrogance. It's about taking responsibility for your life and choices. At the end of the day, you're the one who has to live with the consequences of your decisions. The Stoics emphasized the importance of developing your own strong moral compass and then using it to navigate life's challenges. They knew that relying on external validation or constantly seeking others' approval was a recipe for a life of anxiety and indecision. Think about the people you most admire in history or in your personal life. Chances are they're individuals who stood firm in their convictions, even when it wasn't popular. They trusted their own judgment and had the courage to act on it, regardless of what others thought. This doesn't mean you should never listen to advice or consider other perspectives, but it does mean that ultimately you need to trust yourself and your own reasoning. Develop the habit of checking in with your own values and beliefs before making decisions. Ask yourself, what do I truly think about this, rather than, what will others think? This is the path to authentic living and genuine self-confidence. Seeking approval is a losing game. Many people spend their entire lives on an exhausting hamster wheel, constantly chasing the approval of others. They twist themselves into knots, trying to meet ever-changing expectations, only to find that the goalposts keep moving. This is a game you can never win, and the Stoics knew it. The harsh reality is that no matter what you do, there will always be someone who disapproves or criticizes. You could cure cancer and end world hunger, and there would still be people finding fault. Trying to please everyone is like trying to fill a bottomless pit. It's an endless, soul-sucking task that will leave you empty and unfulfilled. Moreover, constantly seeking approval puts you in a position of weakness. You're essentially handing over control of your self-worth to others, allowing their whims and opinions to dictate how you feel about yourself. This is the opposite of the Stoic ideal of inner strength and self-sufficiency. Instead of chasing approval, focus on earning your own self-respect. Set your own standards and work to meet them. When you can look at yourself in the mirror and genuinely approve of the person you see, other people's opinions lose their power over you. True confidence comes from within, not from collecting likes on social media or accumulating shallow compliments. Other people's opinions say more about them than you. Here's a liberating truth. When someone offers an opinion about you, they're actually revealing more about themselves than they are about you. Their judgments are colored by their own experiences, insecurities, and biases. Often, criticism is just projection. People tend to notice and condemn in others the flaws they fear in themselves. The Stoics understood that we all see the world through our own unique lens, shaped by our individual experiences and beliefs. This means that no one else can truly see you as you are. They're seeing their own mental image of you, filtered through their personal biases and preconceptions. Consider this. Have you ever had two people give you completely opposite opinions about the same thing you did or said? That's because their reactions are based on their own internal worlds, not on some objective reality. Their opinions are like mirrors, reflecting their own thoughts and feelings back at them. Once you grasp this concept, it becomes much easier to detach from others' judgments. You can listen to feedback without taking it personally, understanding that it often says more about the person giving it than it does about you. This doesn't mean dismissing all criticism, but it does mean putting it in proper perspective and not allowing it to define your self-worth. Living for others' approval leads to inauthenticity. One of the greatest tragedies in life is someone living inauthentically, wearing a mask to please others instead of being true to themselves. When you constantly shape your behavior around what you think others want, you lose touch with your genuine self. You become a hollow shell, a chameleon changing colors to blend in rather than standing out in your own unique hues. The Stoics placed immense value on integrity and staying true to one's principles. They knew that compromising your authentic self for the sake of popularity or approval was a form of slow spiritual suicide. It might bring short-term social rewards, but it erodes your soul over time. Think about the times you've pretended to be someone you're not to fit in or gain approval. How did it feel? That discomfort, that sense of being out of alignment with yourself, is your inner wisdom telling you that you're on the wrong path. Living authentically might sometimes mean facing disapproval or criticism, but it's the only way to achieve true fulfillment and self-respect. By letting go of the need for others' approval, you free yourself to be genuinely you. You can speak your truth, pursue your real passions, and live according to your own values. This authenticity is magnetic. It draws the right people and opportunities to you, while repelling those who aren't aligned with your true self. Opinions are often based on incomplete information. In our fast-paced world, people form opinions at lightning speed, often based on the tiniest scraps of information. They see a snippet of your life, a single action or statement taken out of context, and think they understand the whole picture. This rush to judgment is a recipe for misunderstanding and unfair criticism. The Stoics advocated for careful reasoning and thorough examination before forming judgments. They knew that appearances can be deceiving, and that true understanding requires patience and a willingness to look deeper. In contrast, most people's opinions are like hastily constructed houses of cards. They look impressive at first glance, but collapse under the slightest scrutiny. Consider how often you've misjudged a situation only to change your mind when you learned more details. Now apply that to all the opinions others form about you. They're working with limited information, filling in the blanks with their own assumptions and biases. It's irrational to give much weight to judgments formed on such shaky foundations. This realization is incredibly freeing. You don't need to worry about every little action being judged because you know that others don't have the full context. You can focus on living according to your own understanding of the bigger picture, secure in the knowledge that those who matter will take the time to see beyond surface impressions. Chasing popularity leads to compromised integrity. In today's social media-driven world, the temptation to chase likes, followers, and constant validation is stronger than ever. But this pursuit of popularity often comes at a steep price, the compromise of your integrity and core values. The Stoics would view this modern obsession with being liked by everyone as a form of voluntary enslavement. When you make decisions based on what will be most popular, rather than what aligns with your principles, you're sacrificing your integrity on the altar of public opinion. This not only erodes your self-respect, but also leads to a loss of true connection with others. People can sense inauthenticity, even if they can't always articulate it. Think about the public figures or influencers who seem to change their opinions with the wind, always aligning themselves with whatever is trending. While they might gain temporary popularity, they lose something far more valuable: trust and respect. In contrast, those who stand firm in their convictions, even when it's unpopular, often earn deep respect over time. By letting go of the need to be universally liked, you free yourself to act with genuine integrity. This might mean having a smaller circle of friends or followers, but those connections will be far more meaningful and authentic. Remember, it's better to be respected by a few for who you truly are than to be superficially liked by many for a false version of yourself. The impermanence of opinions. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is the recognition of the impermanence of all things, including opinions. People's views can change as quickly as the weather, often with just as little reason. The person criticizing you today might be praising you tomorrow, or vice versa. Understanding this fickleness of human judgment can help you detach from the emotional impact of others' opinions. Think about how many times you've changed your mind about someone or something. Opinions are not set in stone. They're more like writing in the sand, easily washed away by the next wave of information or emotion. Giving too much weight to such transient judgments is like trying to build a house on quicksand. The Stoics taught that true peace comes from anchoring yourself to more stable truths, your core values, your integrity, and your commitment to personal growth. These are the things that remain constant, while opinions swirl and shift around you like leaves in the wind. By keeping this impermanence in mind, You can learn to observe others' opinions with a sense of detachment, almost amusement. You'll see the futility of getting too upset or elated over judgments that might completely reverse themselves in the blink of an eye. This perspective allows you to stay centered and focused on what truly matters, your own actions and character. The freedom of indifference. There's an incredible sense of freedom that comes with genuine indifference to others' opinions. This doesn't mean being callous or not caring about anyone else. Rather, it's about reaching a state where your sense of self and your peace of mind are not dependent on what others think of you. The Stoics called this state ataraxia, a kind of unshakable tranquility that comes from knowing your own mind and being at peace with yourself. When you achieve this, you'll find that criticism slides off you like water off a duck's back, while praise neither inflates your ego nor becomes a crutch you depend on. Imagine going through life without the constant anxiety of wondering what others think of you. Picture being able to make decisions based solely on your own judgment and values, without second-guessing yourself or worrying about disapproval. This is the kind of inner freedom that the Stoics strived for, and that's available to you when you truly internalize that others' opinions don't matter. This indifference is not about isolating yourself or becoming arrogant. It's about finding such a strong center within yourself that external opinions can no longer shake you. You'll be able to listen to feedback, consider it objectively, and then make your own decisions without being swayed by the emotional weight of praise or criticism. The danger of living in others' minds. When you constantly worry about what others think, you're essentially trying to live inside their minds instead of your own. You're making decisions based on your guesses about their thoughts and preferences rather than on your own desires and values. This is a form of self-abandonment that the Stoics would have seen as deeply unwise. Think about how much mental energy you waste trying to predict and manage others' perceptions of you. It's an impossible task. You can never truly know what someone else is thinking, and even if you could, their thoughts are constantly changing. You're chasing a moving target that you can never catch. Moreover, this preoccupation with others' opinions keeps you trapped in a reactive mode. Instead of proactively shaping your life according to your own vision, you're constantly adjusting and readjusting based on perceived judgments from others. It's like trying to steer a ship by following the wakes of other boats instead of setting your own course. By letting go of this habit, you reclaim your mental space and your personal power. You can redirect all that energy into self-reflection, personal growth, and pursuing your own goals. You'll find that when you stop trying to live in others' minds and fully inhabit your own, life becomes much clearer and more fulfilling. The power of self-validation. In a world that constantly seeks external validation, learning to validate yourself is a superpower. The Stoics understood that true strength comes from within, not from the fickle approval of others. When you can look at yourself in the mirror and genuinely approve of the person you see, you become invincible to the opinions of others. Self-validation doesn't mean blind self-praise or ignoring areas where you need to improve. It means having a clear set of personal standards and values, continuously working to meet those standards, and acknowledging your efforts and progress. It's about being your own biggest supporter and harshest critic, leaving no room for others' opinions to sway your self-worth. Think about how liberating it would be to no longer need anyone else's approval to feel good about yourself or your choices. Imagine the confidence you'd have in pursuing your goals when your sense of self isn't tied to others' reactions. This is the kind of inner strength that allows you to stand firm in the face of criticism and remain humble in the face of praise. Developing this skill takes time and practice. Start by setting clear personal standards for yourself. Regularly check in with yourself to assess how you're doing. Celebrate your victories, no matter how small, and view setbacks as opportunities for growth. As you build this habit of self-validation, you'll find that the opinions of others gradually lose their power over you. Freeing yourself from the tyranny of others' opinions is one of the most powerful things you can do for your personal growth and happiness. It's not about becoming insensitive or dismissive of others, but about finding such a strong center within yourself that external judgments no longer have the power to shake you. By embracing these Stoic principles, you'll cultivate an unshakable inner strength that will serve you well in all aspects of life. Remember, at the end of the day, The only opinion that truly matters is your own. If you have made it this far, comment down below with the word 100% to confirm that you have received the knowledge from this video. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.